So I said that one of the things that makes you always a special coach is your ability to identify talent, regardless of what their rank coming out of high school, whatnot. And I mean, just to list some of the guys, you got Malaki Branham, E.J. Liddell, Brice Sensabaugh, Dwayne Washington. The list goes on with different guys you've coached and identified. What was it about those guys, though? Was any of them, first of all, surprising on how good they became for you or how quickly they became good? And also, there's what was it about them that when you did recruit them, you said, you know what, I think this guy has something special. I want him to be a member of my team.
All those guys. EJ was a two-time Mr. Basketball in Illinois. We know knew he was going to be a phenomenal player. He was a two-time first-team All Big Ten performer, but he struggled he didn't struggle his first year. He just was a freshman growing. He actually had a pretty good year, but he was just going through normal challenges. I think with Malaki and Brice, our two one and dones, I did not anticipate them being one and dones. They might have
Mm-hmm.
because they had great self belief in who they were. Two great workers, uh, really good kids. Um, Malachi benefited early on from playing with an older group. Like when we beat Duke, when they were number one in the country, Malachi had some good moments, but he didn't have the kind of moments that he had later in the year when, he kind of took over when we beat Indiana at home. And, so he really took a minute, then came into his own, and I think is going to have a 10 to 15 year NBA career.
Mm-hmm.
Brice Sensabaugh, totally just a phenomenal scorer of the ball, as gifted as anybody I've coached at scoring the ball, just incredibly gifted at that. We knew that. We just didn't know that those guys were going to take off quite like they did. Um, and it's to their credit. And I think we helped them, sure, but they also deserve a ton of credit for that. EJ worked his rear end off. Dwayne Washington really worked at his game to become an NBA player, and a guy who was kind of a three-star coming out of high school, three-star, four-star, and ended up leaving after 3 years. Uh, Jay Sean Tate, phenomenal teammate and player with the Rockets now.
Mm-hmm.
Coached him and can guard five different positions. Keita Bates-Diop, Big Ten Player of the Year, really grew into his own. Has developed a really nice NBA career, and really happy for those guys as well. Because I think they're all phenomenal kids and great representatives.
All right, so you said that you were a little bit shocked about Brice and Malcolm, how quickly it was. When was the point then for yourself as a coach that you said, you know what, I think they're both guys that can be one and done guys. When did that start to click in and you start to realize that?
I texted a couple NBA guys 15 practices in of Malachi's freshman year, and I said, hey, you probably want to come take a look at him this year. They were already going to.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, he does some things in practice. He gets to places with the ball, with the way he moves, that are NBA like. He's just not physically ready to make a real impact at that point. I said, I don't know when he is going to be physically ready. When he is, you're going to have a good feel for him. Brice, we had moments. I saw moments of him in preseason practice
Mm-hmm.
where I was like, he's so physically gifted at scoring the ball. The way the NBA puts a premium on scoring the ball, now we had just went through a one and done with Malachi. I did not think that was going to be the case with Brice, but as he started to score the ball so easily at this level, as we were, 10, 12, and that was a tough year because we were so young. Last 2 years I started four freshmen and four
Mm-hmm.
sophomores. So we were just so young his freshman year, and that was hard on him. It was hard on all of us because he probably had to carry too big of a load. But I think pretty early on you saw with both those guys, they were going to be NBA players. It's just going to be a matter of time.